Hey, third graders, we are going to start comparing fractions today. And you'll notice that I cut these fraction circles out from your math journal. It's page 255A, I believe. Okay, you won't need to cut them out right now. You're going to wait to do that until after the lesson. But I want you to make sure you put them in a safe spot. You'll be able to use these on quizzes or tests or homework if you need them. All right. So today, these fraction circles are all cut into different shapes, or not different shapes, but different sizes. And you'll notice, right, that I have written the unit fraction on each unit, on each piece. So my green circle is in 4 separate pieces, right? My denominator tells me that. This is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Altogether, we have 4/4, which make up one whole, right? My pink one here, you'll notice too, is the same size circle as my green one. It's just cut into a different number of pieces. So these unit fractions are 1/8. There are 8 of them, right? And each one is worth 1/8. Remember, a unit fraction always has a 1 as the numerator. Down here, my purple one, again, is the exact same size circle, but it's cut into 6 pieces. So 1/6, and I have 6 of them. Okay, like I said, you're going to cut these out later and you'll be able to use them. I'm also going to send you some fraction bars that you can print if you want to be able to cut those out and use those, manipulate them, we call that, move them around to be able to compare fractions as well. Today, we're only going to compare fractions when both new denominators are the same, okay? So we're going to take kind of some baby steps here this week, comparing fractions if both denominators are the same. So you'll notice, right? Each of these are in 4 pieces, and I'm comparing 1/4 to 3/4. So I have 1 of my unit fractions, and here I have 3 of my unit fractions. We've learned, right, that alligator eats the big one. So we talked about that last week. So if we are comparing fractions when the denominators are the same, right, the alligator is going to eat the bigger top number. So 1/4 is less than 3/4. Remember, we read this like a sentence. I also want to point out, if these two fractions were flip-flopped, right, and this was 3/4 compared to 1/4, that alligator is going to be eating, right, the same fraction, but in a different direction. So we would say 3/4 is greater than 1/4. Remember, we talked about that last week. So today, your I can statement is I can compare fractions with the same denominator. That bottom number is the same, so my circle or my fraction bars are going to be cut into the same amount, okay? So we're going to look at page number 200. I'm going to move these out of the way. 255, and we're only going to do a couple of problems. Okay, we're going to save part of the bottom for later. So we're going to do actually 1 through 3, I think it is. I kind of have it hiding under here. Now, in the classroom, I normally do this with partners. Okay, so one partner puts fractions here and they compare it to their other partner's fractions. Okay, you won't be able to do that because you only have one set of these fraction circles. Remember, we can model fractions in lots of different ways. We're using circles today. We've used bars. I've talked about having sets of things. We've done number lines, right? There's lots of different ways to model fractions. Today we're going to use these fraction circles. And a lot of times people like to think of them as pizza or pie, something that's in a circular shape, and you can see kind of the different pieces. Okay, now like I said, you only have one set of these. I happen to have 2 because I had a black and white copy as well, and I just colored them in. So they're not going to be exactly the same, but you'll be able to see how we can compare fractions with the same denominator. Okay, number 1 here says 7/8 compared to 5/8. So I'm going to find my fraction circles that are in eighths. Those are the pink ones. Okay. Here they are. And then I have my second set. Okay, it's not the same exact color, but they are all labeled 1/8. So I'm going to compare 7/8. So I'm going to put 7 of my unit fractions on this side. Because remember, I'm reading it like a circle or like a sentence. So 7/8 comes first in my sentence. I'm going to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/8. There's 7 unit fractions. And I'm going to compare that to 5/8. So I'm going to use 5 of my next group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. Okay, you'll notice I tried to start them at about the same point so my eyes could kind of go around in a circle the same way. Okay, so try to do that when you are comparing fractions. So here are my 7/8. Here's my 5/8. What do you notice? What symbol would you put in the middle? 7/8 is greater than 5/8. 7/8 is less than 5/8. Or are they the same? Are they equal? I can see, right, there's more pieces on this side than there are on this side. 7/8 is greater than 5/8, and here's my proof. Okay, I have a little bit of white space. I have a lot more white space on this side. And remember, these denominators are the same, so I'm comparing fractions that are the same size. Okay, let's look at 3/6 and 5/6. I'm going to move my 8s out of the way. And I'm going to find my 6. Those are purple. Okay, I'm going to do 3/6. So 1, 2, 3 unit fractions, 3 equal pieces, and I'm going to compare it to 5/6. So again, these aren't the exact same color, but they are the exact same size. There's 3, there's 4/6, and 5/6. Okay, so when I'm comparing fractions with the same denominator, right, I have to look to that numerator to decide which one is bigger or which one is smaller, depending on my question. 3/6 compared to 5/6. 3/6 is less than 5/6, right? It's going to eat the big fraction. Okay? And I'm noticing when we're comparing fractions with the same denominator, it's eating the bigger numerator. The bigger numerator means it's a bigger fraction. Smaller numerator means it's the smaller fraction. Okay, so here's 3/6. 3 is smaller than 5. Here's the proof that 3/6 is smaller than 5/6. Okay, so comparing with the same denominator, I'm going to write this sentence. You're also going to circle this phrase, same denominator. If you have a highlighter, you could highlight that because you're going to need to remember when that bottom number is the same, the fraction with the greater numerator is the greater fraction, right? The bottom is the same, so we have to look at the top to decide which one is bigger or which one is smaller, depending on the question they ask us, all right? So tomorrow we'll continue and we'll talk about comparing fractions in a different way. But for now, your job is to copy down all of this information, right? Circle that same denominator, and then be thinking when you're working on your homework tonight that you're comparing pieces that are the same size. You're just comparing how many of those pieces you have.